Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the match between Barcelona and Brest. FC Barcelona have been able to defeat Brest 3-0 with a goal coming from Lewandowski in the first half, and then in the second half we saw Dani Olmo score the second goal, and Lewandowski yet again makes it 3-0 and scoring his second goal. This was a great game in my opinion. Yes, Barcelona started off a little slow, a little, I would say, not confident in the first 45 minutes, but overall I believe that Barcelona showcased what they could do. Yes, we made so many mistakes. Yes, we missed so many chances, so many opportunities. Pablo Torre could have easily have made it 2-0 or 3-0 or 4-0. Rafinha also had chances. Fermin Lopez also had a lot of chances. This could have been a game where Barcelona won, maybe 5-0 at the very least. But Barcelona persevered. They did not give up. And we continued to pound Brest over and over again while maintaining possession, which led towards the 3-0. That's the reason why Barcelona in this game had 76% of the possession with a expected goal rate of 2.98. Brest only had 0.10. Barcelona also had 19 total shots, while Brest only had 2. Barcelona generated 8 shots on target and Brest only had 0. Barcelona created 5 big chances and Brest had 0. Barcelona gave Brest no chances of scoring their own goals. I believe that Cubarsí, Inigo Martinez, Gerard Martin, and Jules Koundé shut down Brest immediately. Keep in mind that this is a very big accomplishment because when you look at Brest, you look at what they have been doing in the Champions League. Like we did talk about in the pre-match preview, we did state that Brest was one of the best high-performing teams in the Champions League this season. They have not lost yet in this tournament up until today. Barcelona came in, they came in with a stance and they said, your great run is going to end here, and Lewandowski led the way. Also, Gerard Martin got an assist. Alejandro Balde, who came in later in the second half, also got an assist, and so I'm happy to see that both of our left backs contributed towards Barcelona getting the 3-0 because I believe that both of these two left backs needed the assist for different reasons, right? Gerard Martin has not been having his best season so far in the first team. He has been very underwhelming, making a lot of mistakes, not providing defensive coverage, very underwhelming in the attack up until this assist that he did provide with Alejandro Balde. He has been injured. Also, I think that, when we talk about Alejandro Balde, this is a man who is capable of producing at least 7 to 8 assists per season. It's about time that Alejandro Balde gets his first assist in the Champions League while also having 2 assists in La Liga. So it's fully deserved. And so because of this great positive performance, Barcelona is now in second place within the Champions League table for now, because we still have to wait for Liverpool and Real Madrid, which is going to be a huge match. If Liverpool do win against Real Madrid at their home, by the way, they're going to achieve 15 points and go back into first place. If they lose against Real Madrid, they stay underneath us and remain in third place. Ideally, as a Barcelona fan, I would like to see Liverpool and Real Madrid tie. I know that there are many reasons why we want to see Real Madrid lose or Liverpool lose because we don't want Liverpool to go over us, but I think that a tie between Madrid and Liverpool would satisfy us in all areas. Liverpool would only be up against Barcelona by 1 point, and then you do have Real Madrid still not being able to go into the top 10. So going back to Barcelona, according to Opta Jose, they have stated that Barcelona are the 5th team to win 4 consecutive Champions League matches with 3+ goals. Goes to show that Hansi Flick's team has been operating on a really good level with Pedri, Casado, Gavi, Rafinha, Dani Olmo, Lewandowski, and Fermin Lopez. And so let's talk about the lineup real quick. We had Peña at the back with Inigo Martinez, Cubarsí as a center back duo with Gerard Martin on the left back position and Jules Koundé on the right back position. Our double pivot was Pedri and Casado, and then our attacking 4 was Rafinha, Dani Olmo as the central attacking midfielder, and Fermin Lopez as the left winger. And Lewandowski is always remaining up top as the striker. A very surprising starting 11 because many did assume that Fermin Lopez was going to be the central attacking midfielder while Dani Olmo was going to be the left winger. But I think that what happened in the previous game against Sociedad, Celta Vigo, I think that it did show that Dani Olmo was much more comfortable playing in the central attacking midfield role and playing behind Lewandowski. So that led towards Fermin Lopez going on the left wing position. Another surprising call was Gerard Martin. Many of us were saying that, Gerard Martin is not that good. He's very underwhelming. He's not like poor, he's not like super bad. He's just very underwhelming compared to the other players that are like overperforming, like Pedri, like Casado. But tonight, Gerard Martin had a very decent, solid game. Not world class. He's not being named as the best left back in the world, but he did prove some haters wrong today. And he played a very solid match with 64 out of 73 passes completed, 3 chances created, 1 big chance created, 95 touches, 2 touches in the opposition box. And this is where like the bad things do show, right? Like for example, these successful dribbles. He did not complete a single freaking dribble in the final third at all. 0 out of 4 dribbles were completed. 6 passes into the final third, 1 out of 2 accurate crosses, 1 out of 2 accurate long balls. And so overall, like I've said, it's not like these are not numbers that showcase this is a great world-class left back. I think that he just upped his own level, but he's not at the level that we want him to be at, because honestly, even with his performance, I still choose Alejandro Balde over Gerard Martin at any day, because it did not even take long for Balde to get his assist, and Gerard Martin, it took him like such a long time to get into the groove. But with Balde, he immediately went in there and he started to provide so many great opportunities down the left flank. I'm like, bro, I miss you, bro. I miss you, Mr. Miles Morales. Where have you been? But he's finally here. But going to the goals, right? In the first goal, we saw Pedri try to make a pass into the box. It was an amazing pass, by the way. It went straight to Lewandowski. Lewandowski tried to control it in the air with his chest, but only for the goalkeeper to go behind him, and he does knee him at the back, which led towards Lewandowski getting fouled inside the box and led towards the penalty. Lewandowski later on converted that penalty into a goal. For the second goal, we saw Gerard Martin grab the ball, make a cross into the box. Dani Olmo receives the ball, goes through 2 to 3 different players, right? A master in tight spaces, and scores the goal and places it into the bottom left corner. Moving on towards the third goal, Alejandro Balde receives the ball, makes a cross straight to Lewandowski. Lewandowski receives the ball and scores in a very similar fashion to Dani Olmo and places it into the bottom right corner. Lewandowski, after the match, stated this: "I'm very happy. I never imagined I would score this many goals in the Champions League. We could have scored more goals today. We got the 3 points, and that's the most important thing." So I'm happy to see that Lewandowski has been in top form because he deserves it. He has been having a very tough time adjusting to Barcelona style of play in the past few months and years, but now he's here and he's ready to make a statement. Lewandowski in this season has 22 goals, 2 assists in 19 matches this season, and he is the top goal scorer for La Liga and the Champions League at the age of just 36 years old. And this man, right, this guy is a Champions League legend, because when you look at the top 3 goal scorers for the Champions League ever, Ronaldo is in first place with 140 goals. Messi comes in second place with 129 goals, and then Lewandowski comes in at third place with a total of 101 goals. So I'm so happy to see that Barcelona are maintaining one of the best strikers ever to play in the Champions League, and he continues to provide us great value on the field. I also do want to give other players some praises, like Cubarsí. Cubarsí was named the man of the match against Brest, and you know, he just continues to be exceptional, right? Always showing that he can be relied on the ball, like all the time. He makes the correct decisions all the time. His passes into the midfield is very sharp, and there's just no way that I can see Hansi Flick like sitting down this player when Araujo does come back. There's just no way. Cubarsí is almost untouchable. He also completed the most passes, which was 110, and this is 110 passes completed out of 115, putting him at a 96%. That's an A+ right there. He had 120 touches, 10 passes into the final third, 13 out of 15 accurate long balls. He was dispossessed only once. 2 out of 2 tackles were won, 2 clearances, 1 headed clearance, 5 recoveries, 2 out of 5 ground duels won, 5 out of 8 aerial duels won. And at the age of 17 years old, no wonder this player has 40x'd his market value. He went from 1 million euro to 40 million euros in the transfer market value within a span of 11 months. It really is fully deserved. Moving on towards the next player, let's talk about Pedri, the one player that is going to be renewing with Barcelona very soon. It has been reported before the match that Pedri is very close on the renewal, and Barcelona will be offering him a bigger wage. And in this game, he did show why he deserves to have continuity at Barcelona. He played 88 minutes, completed the most dribbles, was the most fouled player, won the most duels, 90% accurate passes, 111 touches, 12 out of 16 accurate long balls, 17 passes into the final third, 11 out of 13 ground duels won, and 6 recoveries. It was one hell of a match. He was a magician out there. No one could have taken the ball away from him. He was putting the ball over any player, just entertaining the fans, and that is what I'm talking about, is a midfielder who is effective and also at the same time putting out a show that the Barcelona fans want to see. Last but not least, right, Gerard Martin. Gerard Martin, like I have stated, was not world class, right? He was not like the best left back in the world, but still a very solid game. He played in 78 minutes, had 1 assist, 88% accurate passes, 95 touches, 7 recoveries, and 3 interceptions. It's the best, right? I'm trying to give this player more praise than he should, but I believe that he did deserve it. Now, lastly, Frenkie de Jong. I strongly do think that Frenkie de Jong is not in the plans of Hansi Flick. I just don't think so. Like, I know that you might debate and say that, no, Frenkie de Jong is still one of the best midfielders in the world, and Hansi Flick is just trying to see if Frenkie's ready, and eventually he is going to be ready. I just don't think so. I think that, you know, Frenkie is 100% healthy. There is all the reasons why Frenkie should be on the field, but he's still, right, Hansi still chooses not to use him. We started with a midfield of Casado and Pedri. Frenkie was on the bench. Later in the game, right, Hansi Flick was about to make a substitution for the midfield. He still does not place Frenkie de Jong, and he uses Gavi to replace Dani Olmo. Pedri went into the number 8 position, and then we saw a double pivot of Casado and Gavi. And I did state before, right, I'm like, can you imagine what would happen once Bernal does return? Like, there will be no room, but I mean no room for Frenkie de Jong at all, because it's quite clear that in the second half, once we did see Gavi, Pedri, and Casado in the midfield, there's just no room for Frenkie. Frenkie's literally like the 5th choice within the midfield, and he's getting paid the most. He is named as one of the captains. It's quite clear that there were some plans for Frenkie, right? Because he is paid the most. He is named as one of the captains, but he's not being used by Hansi. Barcelona had plans for him, right, to the sporting department, but Hansi Flick came in here and he said, I'm going to be changing things in the future. This may seem like Frenkie de Jong is one of the most important players for Barcelona because of how much he does get paid because of the captain armband, but I will show you guys why Frenkie de Jong is not one of my preferred midfielders. Like he is showing us. Gavi, Casado, Pedri, and Dani Olmo are all preferred before Frenkie de Jong. And like I've said, can you imagine what would happen once Bernal does return? And so now to top it all off, we got the 3-0 in the Champions League, and we have Ronald Araujo set to return with Lamine Yamal as well. Araujo is expected to make his return onto the field within the next 2 or 3 weeks, and with Lamine Yamal, he is expected to return later down this week on Saturday against Las Palmas. And so that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.